Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Today we're going to get in the kitchen and I'm going to show you how to make boiled dinner. Now, boiled dinner has been around, well, longer than I've been around, and you don't want to know how long that is. So, it's easy, it's very simple to make, and very inexpensive to make because we're going to use what we have, and you know how much I really like doing that. So stick with me and let's get in the kitchen and make boiled dinner. See you there. Okie doke, we're in the kitchen. Let's make some boiled dinner. Now, what I have in my big bowl, I have cut up some cabbage, and I only had about a quarter of a medium-sized cabbage left. I cut up, now notice the size of my vegetables, they're not diced. These are actually probably a little larger than stew-sized vegetables. So I had about a medium-sized onion and a small onion, which I cut in pieces like this. I had about 5 potatoes, which I chunked up. Actually, these are in quarters. The potatoes were anywhere from medium to small. I had 3 fairly decent-sized carrots, which I chopped up into this size. So you can kind of see what we're going for here. We're not really going for a soup or a stew. This is a boiled dinner. I also have some celery. And the celery is approximately, you can see, they're kind of similar sizes. All the vegetables are similar to each other. Okay? And I have here some ham that I had left. Now, this is actually what they call a carving ham. I gotten it at Aldi's. This is just a portion of it that was left. I got it for some company, and they couldn't come, so I thought, I cannot eat all of this, you know, myself in sandwiches, whatever, so I decided to turn it into a boiled dinner. Now, in a boiled dinner, you can use beef if you want to. You can use pork. You can use other meat if you like. Ham is what I happen to have, and so that's what I'm going to use. Now, I'm going to cut this up just a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to turn the heat on underneath my pan, which you can see here. Turn the heat on underneath my pan, and I'm going to add some bacon fat. Now, hang on, because I forgot my spoon. So I'm going to put in some bacon fat. I'm going to put in a pretty good dollop, you can see here, or maybe, I don't know, a couple of dollops. I'm going to put that in. This is going to add flavor, and this is the way I'm going to start my ingredients. At some point I will add some water, but this is how we're going to start it. Now you can see that I am using, basically, I'm just using whatever I have in my refrigerator. And of course I want to use the ham. But honestly, I was getting low on potatoes, but just not using them fast enough. And I had a few carrots out of a 2-pound bag. And that quarter of a cabbage, I'm telling you, I made quite a few things out of that cabbage. That one head of cabbage goes a very long way. If you don't like cabbage, I don't know what to tell you. Traditionally, most boiled dinners contain cabbage. So, I like cooked cabbage. If you do not, you can use turnips, you can use parsnips, you can use other things to replace the cabbage if you want to. That's fine. But what we're going for here is we're just using what we have, and we want some good nutrition. And you know what? Potatoes, carrots, onions, celery, cabbage, there's a lot of good nutrition in these vegetables. And that's what we want. Oh my gosh, look at that potato. It's for me. Oh, yummy. Okay. So, I'm going to kind of toss these a little bit to get the fat on them. If I need more fat, I'll put some more in them. Now, keep in mind these vegetables are going to break down as they cook, and they're even going to break down a little bit as I cook them in the bacon fat. The purpose for doing them like this is because I want flavor. And boiled dinner is actually traditionally kind of, in some cases, considered poor food or peasant food, but you know what? A lot of people, including myself, grew up on boiled dinner. I'll put some pepper in here. Now, the only seasoning that I'm using is salt and pepper. Honestly, it really does not get the flavor back. So, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And then later you can taste it for seasoning to see if it's right for you and your taste. Now, I'm sure that some cooks in the past might have put other seasonings in here. There's no reason why you can't. If you want to put, I don't know, whatever your favorite is, go ahead. And depending on, many countries have their version of boiled dinner. And depending on what country you're from, your additions to boiled dinner might be completely different than mine is. So, this is basically what my mom did, except she never added celery. And I really like celery. So, I added that. So there you go. Now, I'm going to cut up this ham, not small. I'm probably just going to have this and then put it all in with my vegetables. But I'm going to wait and give my vegetables an opportunity to sweat down, release some of their liquid, and then I will add the ham. Alright, now you can see, look, they've cooked down a little bit. And I did put a lid on them to kind of hasten the process. But I want you to, can you see that they've released some of their water? I think you can see that. And I did put a couple more dollops of, actually one more, of bacon fat. Now, you don't have to use bacon fat if you don't want to. You can use, honestly, whatever you like. I use the bacon fat because I'm doing ham, and I happen to have a ham boiled dinner, and I haven't had bacon fat. But it's your choice. You don't have to use bacon fat. Now, I just simply cut these ham slices in half. Now, you know what? They don't have to be in slices. They just happen to be in slices because I sliced them up for sandwiches. But you can certainly put chunks of ham. You can put chunks of meat. It doesn't have to be sliced. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can just be whatever it is. So now I'm going to get the ham going in there a little bit. Put my lid back on and get it down there. Come on, ham. And then we're going to come back and we're going to add some liquid. All right. Okay, now I'm going to add some water to this. Now, if you want to add broth, that's fine, you can. But I just want to show you a traditional way to do this and also show you how really simple and inexpensive it is. Now, I've got a couple quarts of water here, so I'm just going to pour enough water to cover, almost cover, the vegetables. And then I'm going to bring it back up to a boil, and then I'm going to turn my heat down to about medium to like a medium low, okay? And then we're going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to let this cook on a low simmer for about an hour, or until all the vegetables are cooked nicely and actually done. Now, you can see that the onions will fall apart. That's fine. We don't mind that. And the vegetables will get softer and they will fall apart a little bit. We don't really care about that. That's perfectly fine. But you can see how with these few simple ingredients you can feed a family. And growing up, we loved the boiled dinner. So I'm going to bring it back up to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer, and I'm going to make sure that I don't lose the water in there. I'm sure that I won't have to add any more, but if I do, I have some handy, and we can do that. So, all right, we will be back, and when it is done, and I will show you what we have. Don't go away. And listen, if you like, please hit the like button. If you don't like, hit the don't like button. And feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that happy stuff, and we'll be back. Whoop, it's coming back up. All right, we'll be back. All right, our boiled dinner is done. And keep in mind, this is a ham boiled dinner. You can use corned beef, you can use beef, you can use pork. All kinds of meat can be used in this dish, as well as various spices, because remember what we talked about, that it depends on where you come from, and different countries have their different types of boiled dinner. But I think you'll find that this is not uncommon. This type of dish is not uncommon all over the world, and it is delicious. So let's dish this boiled dinner up. This took about, I would say maybe a little less than an hour, turned down low. And the thing of it is, I wanted to make sure that my carrots were done because they were the biggest. So, all right. Now, the way I like to dish this up is I like to take my plate, but you can serve this in a bowl, so that's fine. Don't worry about that. I like to take my plate and use a slotted spoon and dish it up like this and put it on the plate, and then we're going to put some of that lovely broth on there too. But we're going to put however much we want. Then those carrots look wonderful. I'm going to get a piece of cabbage, find another piece of ham. It's kind of a surprise with every spoonful. Little potato there. Doesn't that look delicious? Now I'm going to grab my big spoon here. I'm going to put a little bit of broth on there. Now, traditionally, when my mother would have made this, she would have, and she usually made with beef, but sometimes with ham. She would have made a, we would have had this with cornbread or biscuits. If it was for Sunday dinner, we might have it with some homemade bread and maybe a peach cobbler with, if we were lucky, a little bit of ice cream on it, on that peach cobbler. Oh, that's all so good. So, and because I like I'm a pepper person. I'm going to put a little pepper on here. And then I have 2 really nice rolls that I have left. So I'm going to have that with my ham boiled dinner. And you know what those rolls are for? They're for sopping. They're for sopping up the juice. So there it is. Ham boiled dinner made the simple way, because that's how we do things at Simple Food, Simple Life. We like to find a simple way to do things. Simplify your food and you'll simplify your life, and it just makes things a little bit easier, doesn't it? All right, listen, I love you. As always, you just remember that little is much when God is in it. Okay? All right, I love you. I hope you come back and see me again, and I'll be looking for your comments down below. Okay, love you. Talk to you later. Bye.